Shabbat Shalom and welcome to this week's 3-2-1. That's 3 comments in the Parsha in 2 minutes with 1 insight. This week we get the Parsha about stuff. It is a Parsha where we build stuff for the tabernacle, we talk about how to build stuff for the tabernacle, and we collect the stuff to build the tabernacle. In fact, in one of the most underplayed but still very exciting moments in Jewish history, we get the first serious fundraiser, and Moses says, "Stop. Your voluntary donations have gotten too much. We're good. We don't want any more." It's unheard of, hasn't happened before, since, or ever again, but the first fundraiser ends by Moses saying, "Stop, we have enough." And there are 3 potential reasons what's going on here. The first is, why were they giving so much stuff? Why were they so generous? The first is that perhaps what was going on is they were feeling a little guilty because last week was the golden calf. Of course they gave stuff to build the tabernacle. A week ago they were building an idol. They want to show, we use our stuff for the good thing. We're on board, 100%. Moses was able to say, "Stop, enough." Second possibility is almost the exact opposite, which is, for generations, these people had been slaves with no ability to do anything. There was nothing of their own. There was no work of theirs that they were proud of, that they could claim ownership of. So of course they gave so much because they wanted to say, this is the first endeavor of the Jewish people. I want to point at that ingot and say, I was the one who donated the metal for that, the thread, and say that color comes from my donation. They want a piece. They want to own some part of what's going on here. And third, the last possibility of what is going on here is Moses is actually playing it extraordinarily smart. That when Moses says, "Stop, we have enough," maybe they could have taken more, maybe they couldn't, but he establishes from the very beginning, it's less about how much stuff they needed or not, but he lays out that the priesthood, the holy tabernacle, the center of religious life, is not greedy. It's not going to suck everything out of you the way every other religion in the ancient world did. They just kept taking and taking and taking. We're going to take what we need to make it work, but we're not going to take more than that. In these 3 interpretations, understanding, we get a message for us. We live in America where the number 1 core principle is capitalism. How much of our daily thoughts process, even our life goals, have to do with what our earning potential is and how we might maximize it. How do we invest appropriately so that we are secure for the future? Money, our stuff, our resources, is at the core of how we see ourselves. And the Bible tells us this week that that's okay. But here are 3 rules, 3 ways in which you might do that and still retain your soul, retain the godliness inside of you. The first comes from a very Jewish source, which is guilt. Pay attention to when you use your money for idols. And when you need to do better, look for the causes for the use of your resources that lift up, that uncover godliness in the world. Second is that you should feel proud of what you do. If all your money does is collect more money, then what are you doing with it? This is power that you have to affect the world. And lastly, it is our job to remember that stuff itself is not the goal. Living a divine life is. And that is wisdom that I know I could use on a daily basis, and I hope that we can share and hold on to. It is good to have resources. It is our challenge to use them well. Shabbat Shalom.